Ruler School is brought to you by Happy Little Hug Factory and these amazing patrons. Extra special thank you to guest lecturer patrons Brody Harris and Lance Albertson. Thank you for your support. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's Paul and I'm bringing you a deck profile today from my Gill Control list that you saw on the channel earlier this week. Just due to some scheduling conflicts, I am recording this video instead of Jeremy, so it's good to see you guys outside of a tournament report. So first of all, we're going to talk about Gill. The reason I started playing Gill just because I wanted to throw this deck together is because of my GP Rome tournament report. I just thought it was really kind of cool how Gill was actually doing so well, and plus they got to use Leaf Paladin, which is my favorite card in the entire deck. I'm a huge Power Rangers fan, and of course there's a lot of like Power Rangers references going on in the channel, and I just wanted to dip my hands into this. So for those who may not know, Gill is a green J-Ruler with the ability to energize for green judgments for green, green, and 1. And he can remove elementals in his graveyard from the game to produce a green will on his front side. He can also tap for a Gentle Breeze elemental from the deck. You probably don't even do this at all. And then in addition to that, you mill a card to your graveyard at the end of your turn because of his sealed item. When you flip him, he becomes an 11/11 J-Ruler with Barrier, and he's a human, which isn't, again, super relevant, but it might be. So he gets to remove elementals from his graveyard, but because of his unsealed ability, he gets to produce 2 green instead of 1, and then instead of milling, you get to recycle 2 elementals from your removed pile back into the deck, and you can search out any chant. That is not Spirit Magic specific, that is any chant. That could be your Final Breeze, sorry, not Final Breeze, that's an entirely different card. Final Battle, your 5th Elements, your Fair Spell, Severing Winds, anything you want, you can just search it right out of the deck, which is pretty cool. So it kind of incentivizes you to play more Elementals and to remove them and put them back into the deck for more effects. It's actually pretty cool J-Ruler, really like the guy, and I really love this art as well. We're going to go to the stone lineup now. We have 4 Gusting Skies for the white source, as well as 1 Nature's Beauty for that additional white source. 4 Black Silence and a Gusting Darkness for 5 darkness sources, and all of these stones tap for green as well. Green is the most important color in the deck because all of the cancel spells are green. Going into the Resonator lineup, this isn't a Resonator, but it is your probably turn 1 optimal play next to White Leaf. It's Gentle Breeze Elemental. You can pitch it to draw a card, and it's also a Spirit Magic, so it fuels itself, in addition to other things that you're going to see in the deck. In addition to that, you have White Leaf, which is just an Inheritance 0, gain 600 life for the most part. You're never really going to play this from hand, although it's an 8/8, so you might, but you more than likely won't, and it's probably not going to be the most optimal play. My favorite card, Leaf Paladin, which allows you to say it's Morphin time during your match if you really want to, and get your White Leaf, Blue Leaf, Black Leaf, and Red Leaf to hand, which is just a huge +4 for you in terms of card advantage. So he's really, really good for that, and plus they're all elementals, so you get to feed Gill. You get to play 4 Laureate as well because in addition to canceling automatic and activate abilities, which I hear is pretty good right now, you get to remove 3 Spirit Magics from the graveyard and just put them right back in your hand. Which is kind of relevant because most of the spells you're going to be casting are Spirit Magics. And then of course we round out the Resonator lineup with an Inheritor of the Stars, Gill Lapis, which can't be cancelled if your ruler/J-Ruler is Gill, which is pretty great. But in addition to that, he's also a Flying Resonator with Barrier. So there's really only one way to make this guy not happen, and that's to use Winds of Salvation, which to me is like, okay, I mean, most decks are not going to be playing that card, so I might as well just play Inheritor of the Stars, Gill Lapis, and just fly in for 10 damage. In addition to that, Gill will get a mystery counter every turn, which is not really relevant, but the third effect definitely is, because you can remove an elemental in your graveyard to produce will of any color, and you get to put a +1/+1 counter on this card, and you can only do it once per turn. So you can just potentially get bigger, and all of these other elementals that you're not using as a way of searching back into the deck, they can just go to feed your other win condition, which is just as strong as your J-Ruler in a lot of different ways. Onto the chance, we're going to be playing a 3/5 element for removal. It's actually pretty decent. I really like this spell a lot, but more than 3 is not really advised. You really don't, it's kind of clunky, I guess is the best way to say it. You play 3 Fair Spell for negation, as well as 3 Severing Winds, because that's a really powerful card combination. And then I play 4 Laureate's Deletion Magic, because it's a spirit magic. So if you flip your Gill into the Gifted Conjurer's side, and you have the ability to remove elementals from your graveyard, this card might actually be free if your opponent's tapped out. If not, it's a way of stopping like turn 2 Maribel and like turn 2 like really strong plays on your opponent's turn. So things like Puppet Maker is a card you might want to hit with this, or even like again turn 2 Maribella can give this deck a lot of issues. So I needed a way to get out of that, and it's a spirit magic, so it'll feed Laurite later in the game. And I wanted some defense, so I played Miscalculation, Final Battle to wipe a board, and then 1 Reincarnation of the Soul. And I'm not necessarily a fan of this card right now. I mean, there is a combination of cards that you could, if you have both Gill and Gill Lapis in the field, you can get up to a point where you have a green will left after you play this card, and you get to draw a card. And then you have another Spirit Magic in the grave. It's not really worth it to me to play this card for that reason. I would rather play something like a Vanish, so I'm probably going to change this out. But anyway, guys, let me know how you feel about the deck. I actually really liked this and enjoyed it. The Cancel Wars are probably the best part of this entire thing, and I gotta say, I would definitely highly recommend this list going into next format, just based on the kind of stuff we saw in GP Rome. Anyway, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know down below what you thought of the deck or any changes you would make, and we'll see you next time.